from remote locations. The meeting is being recorded and will be available via the Council's website to be viewed subsequently. Please can everyone ensure that all mobile phones are switched off or to silent mode. Members will have received an electronic copy of the agenda on Tuesday the 10th of November. For the record, the agenda can be viewed on the Council's website. Members and officers will be speaking at various points during the meeting, and those speaking may switch their cameras on at that point. But I would ask that, with the exception of myself as the chairperson, and at all other times, that you keep your cameras and microphones switched off, as this will help to minimise background noise and interference and to ensure the connection remains as stable as possible. Please do not use your microphone until I invite you to do so. Officers from Scrutiny will be supporting the meeting and will be monitoring the use of microphones throughout the meeting, and when necessary will mute those not being used. If members or officers wish to speak to raise a point or question, they should use the instant message or IM icon in the bottom left of the Skype window to type speak, and I will come to you in order I receive requests. Please do not use the IM instant messaging chat to enter questions or comments. I will now ask the Scrutiny Officer, I believe it's Meryl, to announce the names of the councillors in attendance at this meeting. Officers are asked to introduce themselves when I invite them to speak. They should also ensure microphones and cameras are switched off when not in use. So Meryl, can you announce who's here, please?
Chair, it's Tracy, actually, sorry.
Oh, is it Tracy today? No worries, we'll go with Tracy. Tracy.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, in attendance today we have Councillor Blundell, Councillor Clark, Councillor Davis, Councillor Edwards, Councillor Howells, Councillor Lewis, Councillor Radcliffe, Councillor Shaw, Councillor Spanswick, Councillor Sturman, Councillor Thomas, Councillor Venables, Councillor Boise, Councillor Walters and Councillor Williams. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Tracy. Are there any apologies for absence today?
No, Chair. We received no apologies for this meeting. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thank you very much. Does any members have any apologies for absence? Just type in the message icon. Give it a sec. Nope. Fabulous. All right. Item 2, declarations of interest. If any member or officer has any interest to declare in any matter on the agenda, please type speak in the instant messenger chat. Give everyone a second. No, looks like we're good. Yep, looks like we're okay. Okay, item 3, the approval of minutes of meetings. We have 2 today, of the meetings held on the 14th of November 2019 and the 23rd of January 2020. Let's go for the 14th of November 2019. They're moved and seconded. Moved by Councillor Thomas, seconded by Councillor Spanswick. Any changes anyone wishes to make? No. I'm not seeing anyone type in. That's okay. And then let's go to the 23rd of January 2020. Can I have a mover and a seconder?
Move. Second.
Moved by Councillor Thomas, seconded by Councillor Spanswick. And anyone wishes to raise any issues with that, with those minutes? I'm not seeing anyone type in. Fabulous. Okie doke. Item 4, the Forward Work Programme update. I will ask the Scrutiny Officer to present the report. If any members wish to speak, please type speak into the instant messenger chat. Rachel, are you taking us through this report today?
I am indeed. Thank you, Chair. And just for awareness, I will keep my camera off the duration of the meeting to stabilise my internet connection. I would like to take members briefly through the report, starting at point 3, which is the scrutiny update. Members will know that following the lockdown in March, scrutiny committees were initially postponed as the Council focused upon key priorities in response to COVID-19. A report to Cabinet in June requested that the Corporate Overview and Scrutiny Committee consider the creation of a cross-party recovery panel, which, at their meeting in July, approved and established a panel with the aim of shaping, informing and advising Cabinet on the Council's recovery planning to form the basis of the recovery phase of the pandemic. The panel met 6 times in August and produced recommendations to the Corporate Overview and Scrutiny Committee in September, which were reported to Cabinet a week later. A formal response from Cabinet is expected shortly. The Recovery Panel is now awaiting the Public Service Board's Community Impact Assessment to consider the findings before selecting its next area of focus to be examined in greater detail. A combined meeting of Subject Overview and Scrutiny Committees 1 and 2 took place in July to consider reports on post-16 education and learner travel. This was postponed from March. Recommendations for post-16 education were considered by Cabinet in July, who took a decision on the preferred option and then considered the recommendations upon learner travel in September, deferring the decision to amend the local authority's learner travel policy until after the review of the current statutory distances by Welsh Government in March 2021. The Budget Research and Evaluation Panel meetings commenced in July, and to date 4 meetings have taken place, with the final meeting scheduled for December. The schedule of meetings for the remaining municipal year was agreed at Annual Council in September, and as the Recovery Panel has now been established, it is recognised that moving forward, meetings of Subject Overview and Scrutiny Committees would need to be focused and strategic to avoid a duplication of work. Members will most likely be aware that the Council has been advised that the local government financial settlement from Welsh Government will be later than expected. This means that scrutiny of the medium-term financial strategy will need to be considered by scrutiny committees after Cabinet considers the draft proposals on the 19th of January, and not in the December cycle of meetings as originally planned. Consequently, arrangements will be made to move the dates of the January meetings to facilitate this, and an announcement will be made at the Council next week. With these changes in mind, it is proposed that at its next meeting on the 17th of December, it would be timely that the committee receives a verbal update briefing from the Corporate Director upon the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic upon the community's area and the operational response. With regards to the meetings of scrutiny after the MTFS, the committee is asked to identify any further items for consideration on the interim forward work programme for the remainder of the municipal calendar of meetings using the prior agreed criteria form. This emphasises the need to consider issues such as impact, risk, performance, budget and community perception when identifying topics for investigation. This does not necessarily have to be done at today's meeting, as the committee will have the opportunity at each meeting to revisit its forward work programme, and members may in fact wish to wait until the next meeting of the committee to set further topics following the verbal update from the Corporate Director. In terms of scrutiny member training, at point 4.8, members may recall that the Welsh Local Government Association questioning skills training for scrutiny members and training for scrutiny chairs was postponed due to the national lockdown. However, the WLGA can now offer this training via Microsoft Teams, and it is therefore proposed that 2 sessions be arranged this month. 1 session of scrutiny questioning skills for all scrutiny members, and 1 session of scrutiny chairs training for all committee and chairs. The dates for this training will be going to Council next week and will be considered thereafter. I believe that's this week now, actually. These are the main points of the report that I wish to highlight, and at this stage I refer you back to the Chair for any questions from members before taking you to the recommendations of point 9. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Rachel. Do members have any questions before we go to the recommendations? Councillor Spanswick, you're typing. Do you want to speak?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Very briefly, for the update for the next meeting with the Director, whether it be possible, I know it's a small area, but within the update about what's happened with COVID and how the Communities Directorate has worked over the last year, the one area perhaps we could do an update on as part of it is the whole enforcement issue, because that was suspended at one point. I suppose it's knowing where we are and when we get back to the new normal enforcement or even improved enforcement in the future. If that could be included as part of the Director's report, please.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we could put that in. Rachel, can we make a note of that to hand that over to the Director? Fabulous.
Yes.
Okie dokie. Has anyone else got any comments, questions? I'm not seeing anyone type in. Oh, Councillor Lynn Walters. you wish to speak?
Thank you, Chair. For me, with the report, what I really would like to understand is because the teams aren't working together, what controls have had to be relaxed or changed? So what is the new oversight that have been embedded across all of the teams, and to ensure that there is oversight of the actions that are being taken for the new ways of working? Also, which of the services have been most impacted through COVID? So it's the scale and the hotspots. I mean, I'm sure that Janine would be putting that in her report anyway, but it's really to actually understand what are the scale and what pressures are we going to have that are going to take possibly up to, it could be 6 months, a year. What are the pressures that are, and how long is it going to take to recover from the delays we've already had?
Okay, yeah, I'm sure I'm sure one of the scrutiny officers will take a note of that, and we can ask Janine to include the director, I should say, to include that in her report when she comes to committee next month. Because I agree. I think that'll be very interesting to see what pressures have been and what pressures are to come down the line. Not seeing anyone type in. Councillor Lynn Walters, did you want to come back?
No, thank you. I was just deleting my my speak from before, so apologies. No, but thank you.
No problem. Thank you very much. Okay. Nope, not seeing anyone type. Okay, so I'll take members to the recommendations. Rachel, did you want to read them through, or should we?
Yes.
Hang on,
Shall I? Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, go ahead while I figure out what's going on the screen.
Okay. The committee is therefore recommended to confirm the proposed initial items for the committee's draft interim forward work programme in paragraphs 4.3 and 4.4. Identify any specific information the committee wished to be included in the item for the next meeting, which is the verbal update briefing from the corporate director. And finally, request the committee to identify any further items for consideration on the forward work programme for the remainder of the municipal calendar of meetings using the agreed criteria form. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. I think we've got some good topics there from Councillor Spanswick and Councillor Walters. What we want to be included in the update next month. Did anyone want to have any questions about those recommendations, or should we have a mover and a seconder?
Move it. Recommendations, Chair.
Second, Chair.
Okay, so we've got moved by Councillor Spanswick and seconded by Councillor Howells. Is there any dissension to that? I will take silence as agreement, so you don't need to shout out. Fabulous. I'm not hearing any dissension. Okay, so those have been moved and seconded and agreed upon. Thank you very much. Okay, now let's go to the next agenda item, which is the agenda item 5, Corporate Parenting Champion Nomination Report. Rachel, you going through this one again?
Thank you, Chair. The purpose of this report is to request the committee to nominate one member as its corporate parenting champion to represent the committee as an invitee at meetings of the Cabinet Committee Corporate Parenting. The role of the corporate parenting champion is to represent their overview and scrutiny committee, partaking in discussions with Cabinet over items relating to children in care and care leavers. It is also suggested that in this role, each champion considers how all services within the remit of scrutiny affect children in care and care leavers, and encourages their own committee to bear their corporate parenting role in mind when participating in scrutiny. Scrutiny champions can greatly support the committee by advising them of the ongoing work of the Cabinet Committee, and particularly any decisions or changes which they should be aware of as corporate parents. Can I therefore ask for nominations from members of the committee, please?
Thank you very much, Rachel. Can I ask who is our current member on that nomination part, on that our corporate parenting champion?
Chair, it was Councillor David White, but of course Councillor is now a member of SOC2.
He's on it from SOC2 as well now. So okay, so we will need anyone wishing to go on this. So we will need a nomination. Any nominees? Councillor Thomas, you nominating Councillor Davis?
Yeah, Paul Lewis.
Paul Davis, yeah. Seconder?
Second that.
Chair.
Thank
Hang
you very
on,
much,
hang on,
Councillor.
Chair. Hang on. What is it? I don't want to go on this chair. Sorry.
Oh, prepared to check. No worries. Okay, you don't wish to be nominated. That's perfectly fine.
No. Thank you very much.
Do we have anyone wanting to be nominated?
I'll do it if no one else does. I've got an adopted daughter, so kind of familiar with some of the issues.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Councillor Radcliffe.
I'd like to move-
Self-nomination, Councillor
Radcliffe.
Thomas is seconded him. And Councillor Sturman is seconded him as well in the member in messenger chat. Fabulous. Okay, any others, or are we happy just to nominate Councillor Radcliffe?
Move nominations closed, Chair.
Fabulous. Thank you very much, Councillor Howes. That's all done then. Congratulations, Councillor Radcliffe. Okay, our next item is item 6, nomination of to the Public Service Board Scrutiny Panel. Rachel, did you want to take through this report?
Yes, thank you, Chair. The purpose of this report is to request the committee to nominate one member to sit on the Public Service Board Scrutiny Panel. From the 1st of April 2016, the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act 2015 introduced statutory public service boards across each local authority in Wales. PSBs work together to improve the social, economic, cultural and environmental well-being of the board's area. The Act specified the one committee taking an overview of the overall effectiveness of the board, which the authority determined to carry out via a PSB scrutiny panel, and sits under the remit of the Corporate Overview and Scrutiny Committee. The purpose of the panel is to review and scrutinise the efficiency and effectiveness of the PSB and its decisions, as well as the governance arrangements surrounding it. The panel will hold up to 2 meetings a year and will make reports or recommendations to the board regarding its functions, with the aim of enhancing its impact. These recommendations are to be presented then to the Corporate Overview and Scrutiny Committee for approval prior to submission to the board. Can I therefore ask for nominations for members of the committee, please?
Thank you very
Move
much,
Councillor Paul Davis, Chair, please.
Councillor Howes has nominated Councillor Paul Davis
Second that.
and seconded by Councillor Spanswick. Councillor Rod Shaw, you've asked to speak. Or is it just to nominate Councillor Paul Davis?
Well, thank you, Chair. Yeah, I've enjoyed, 3 years actually on Public Service Board, and the last 2 as Chair. I'm more than happy to step aside and actually would have nominated Paul Davis to take my place. So happy to nominate or second, should it be required.
Thank you very much, Councillor Shaw. I'm sure you'll be missed on the committee, on the panel. So we've had a mover, we've had a seconder. Councillor Davis, do you wish to sit on this committee? This panel?
I do, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just double checking that one. So yes, we've had any other nominations? I'm not seeing anyone type or no one shouting at me.
Move nominations closed, Chair.
Thank you very much, Councillor Howes. So congratulations, Councillor Paul Davis. You are elected onto the panel.
Thank you very much, Chair. Much
You're
appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, and next item is item 7, urgent items. I have no urgent items. I have not been informed of any urgent items, so I shall call this meeting to a close at 9:49. See you all at our next meeting next month.
Well
Thank
done,
you all for
Chair.
joining us.